Y'all know how we do, man. Big H's. I'm your boy Jay.
I'm your boy Amity.
Today's episode, we got our Survivor Series review 2022. First ever War Games on the main roster.
One thing I want to mention real quick. I know I said to y'all last week that bro will be back this week. Unfortunately, the ride situation is still continuing, still going on. So
he's still on hiatus.
Pretty much, he's getting a 2-week vacation, basically, if you want to call it that. But we're hoping that by next week he should be back. Hopefully, I want to say hopefully because I don't want to promise it and then it doesn't happen. But outside of that, let's get into our War Games results.
All right, the show kicked off. Well, you got the joint, so
yeah, I gotta look up the matches again. So the night kicked off with the women's War Game match.
All right, so going into the match, we knew it was Damage Control,
Nikki Cross and Rhea Ripley.
Right, we knew that, the 5 of them, and then it was Bianca,
Becky.
I was gonna say before I was gonna leave Becky for last because she popped up, but yeah, okay, Becky, Asuka, Alexa, and I'm missing somebody. Mia Yim,
or Michin, as she's going by.
What does that mean?
It's crazy in Korean.
Oh, okay.
I guess it's a nickname that has stuck with her for before WWE. Like something I guess she was just called like out the blue.
Is she still with Bearcat?
Yes.
That's what's up. Shout out to Bearcat and Mia Yim.
Happy couple.
Bearcat. Alright, anyway.
Do we see Bearcat come back? Who knows?
He like 50. Nah, it's not.
No, we ain't that old.
Alright,
so in his 40s, but we're getting off track.
Alright, so this match, I like this match. I like the the story of like Becky coming back, because Bianca had basically, her and Bianca had a year-long feud, great storytelling, all that, and she come back and now they're friends because they shook hands, and then Damage Control attacked Becky Lynch before she went on hiatus, so it all makes sense. It's storytelling at its finest and all that.
Now we had seen Bianca, Asuka, and Alexa teaming up together against Damage Control before. We have seen Bayley and Bianca in the Last Woman Standing match. So this is where it was
From CNR.com, the Spanish league has been one of the topmost leagues in the world, with clubs like Real Madrid and FC Barcelona.
We apologize. We left the speaker on.
Yeah, she talks too damn much, but go ahead.
But anywho, so yeah, Bianca and Bayley in the Last Woman Standing match. So it was finally culminating at War Games with, like we said earlier, with Becky returning. She had been out since SummerSlam, finally returned the night before War Games, because I'm still getting used to pay-per-views on a Saturday. That's really thrown me off.
I don't understand the theory behind it, but I mean, yeah. But this was a good match. I liked all the chaos. I did see what was it? It was a few spots in here that I liked. First of all, Nikki Cross was just sitting on top of the cage for some reason because she's nuts. So she went up on the cage, because if you escape War Games, the team loses. That's an automatic elimination.
Yeah, that's a rule I didn't know about. But the funny thing is, before she decided to sit up on the cage, literally when she came out, she was sitting on top of the little cage that the competitors stay in. I'm like, I don't know what your fascination is with sitting on top of cages.
She's just nuts. You can't really, But Bianca. Bianca and Becky showed a lot of teamwork, and they might be tag team champions down the road. Bianca and Bianca and Becky's team picked up the win.
I do want to give props to Bianca though for starting the match. Literally, the Raw Women's Champion. She didn't have to start the match, but she was like, you know what? It's my team. I'm starting first. Bayley didn't even start for her team.
Right, it was
Dakota Kai.
Dakota Kai, yeah.
Who had been in 4 previous War Games
And
matches.
they let that be known, which is crazy because it's like, dang, they've had. I know they've had a War Game match since like 2017.
It's all been NXT. This is the first time it was brought to the main roster.
And they brought a lot of that up, like how none of the people, like Becky didn't have no experience. I think Bianca had one match.
Yeah, she had one under her skin. I think Io had one, Dakota had one. A lot of the NXT call-ups that have been on the main roster for a while had been experienced. The one thing for me, and I was going to say this to say it at the end, but the one thing for me that I want to bring up is for me, I like the pay-per-view, but the thing that got me is I kind of missed how we didn't have any of, the brand versus brand like matches.
Oh, you missed that?
Yeah, like I always liked, as they said, the Thanksgiving tradition of, having Raw versus SmackDown, or the one year we had Raw versus NXT versus SmackDown. So I'm wondering, will we kind of revert back to that next year and have it like it could still be War Games, but maybe Raw versus SmackDown and War Games, who knows? I'm kind of hoping they don't do away with it, because it was always nice to see, like, you see Raw superstars and SmackDown superstars, especially since the brand split is still a thing. Will there be a thing next year? We don't know. But if it is, I really would like to see them bring Raw versus SmackDown. I mean, don't get me wrong, I liked Team Bianca, Team Belair and Team Damage Control and Team Bloodline and Team Brutes, going at it. But I would like to see next year, a little bit of brand supremacy come back and have a Raw versus SmackDown.
Triple H watched our videos, so he been doing a lot of stuff I've been saying. So he might hear you out. But what's our next match? Bianca and Bailey picked up the win. It was a good match. I liked
Bianca
it.
and Becky.
What did I say? Bianca and Bailey?
Yes.
It's a lot of B's. Bianca.
He really wants to see Bianca and Bailey be a tag team.
Nah, it's just too many B's. Well, go ahead, bro.
The next match was, I already remember this one offhand, was Finn Balor representing the Judgment Day versus AJ Styles of the OC. Now, as to my knowledge, Mia Yim, or Michin, and Rhea Ripley were not present for this match. Even though some people thought they might be, but...
Well, Rhea Ripley was in War Games.
And so was Michin. I realized that after a while, but I didn't know if maybe they're going to, rush to the back and then come back out.
I mean, they're like halfway alive at that point. Like, they just went to War Games. I don't think they could be like, all right, I'm going to come hobble my way down so I could be a manager, so I could be an interference. Like, they probably in the ambulance somewhere.
One thing I want to acknowledge before we talk about the match itself. One, I'm still trying to get behind Finn's new theme music. Well, new. It's basically the same thing, just kind of spun differently, so it sounds a little different.
It's like slowed down or something like that.
Yeah, or they try to make it sound more like when they redid Edges, kind of like have that like Judgment Day godlike kind of theme into it.
Yeah.
And then the other thing that got me is, and this has been an up and coming thing since Triple H has taken over as far as creative is concerned. I've noticed they referenced before the match even started, specifically when AJ came out. They're talking about Finn Balor. He was the prince in Japan and was a former like 6-time IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team champion.
Leaders of the Bullet Club, all that.
Like we came to the fact, like that really, for me, I watched New Japan stuff, so I already knew that. But one thing with WWE was it was kind of forbidden. They never really talked about promotions that they don't have a deal with. Like they had a deal with Evolve, so that was fine. But it was like when they acknowledged this, I'm like, that's kind of shocking because that's something you don't hear in WWE. On AEW, Ring of Honor, other promotions like that they acknowledge that. But for WWE to do that kind of threw me off guard. I'm like, I'm happy to see it, but it threw me off guard.
Yeah, it's most definitely a lot of things changing for sure. Like since Vince has stepped down, but in this match, I was disappointed. I expected more out of AJ and Finn because they had a good match at TLC 2017.
Yeah,
and that match was pretty good. But this match, I don't know. Like
it could have been better because, and that's the thing. You have it where you expect after you see an instant classic that the next one's going to be higher than that, and then the third one's going to be higher. Like as they keep going, it's just like this one just seemed kind of stale.
Yeah, I mean, this is AJ and Finn. Like I know what these two dudes can do, and I just felt like I was let down. I mean, how do you feel about the match? You feel like the same way I felt? Like
I do because, like I said, I feel like it. Like I've seen both of their matches against other competitors. You know, AJ facing other WWE superstars and other superstars when he was in different promotions, and even with Finn. And I'm used to seeing them. You know, I'd say more of a high octane offense, more wowing moves. This one just kind of just seems stale.
Yeah, and to me, I went in here with like super like high. Like I expected a match of the year caliber type match.
So did I.
Like, you know, like up there with like the Gunthers and Sheamus and the Cody and Seths, and I didn't get that at all. I'm just like, it was just there. Like, it wasn't terrible, but
It could have been better.
like I was like, eh. So yeah, like I don't even want. I mean, there wasn't really much to say because nothing really stood out to me. I mean, Gallows and them were out ringside. Oh, you know, I was just like, eh.
It could have been better. I'm hoping if they have a third match down the road that it please makes up for the stale match that we got at War Games. Like, please, if you're gonna redo it at like Rumble, Fastlane, WrestleMania, if you decide to do that, which I feel like might be the possible outcome, if you're gonna do it, please let it be better than what we saw.
Yeah, like,
Please.
they had a match at TLC 2017. That match was hard. I don't know what happened. I don't know.
I think one of them was thrown in as a last minute replacement because I don't think they were supposed to face each other. I think it was Finn got thrown in last minute.
AJ got thrown because that's when people got sick, like in the stomach. Like Bray Wyatt got sick. Some other people like got like this weird stomach virus, and that's how you got that match. But yeah, I don't have much to say on this match. Like nothing happened.
Now that I think about it, that's kind of upsetting. So an impromptu match that was thrown together last minute is better than a like pre-booked up like
with stories
with
and all
stories
that.
in it, and the match is stale. That really is something to. That's something.
And it's the same two people, so I don't know. I mean, different characters for sure, but and AJ did win.
Which I was happy for.
It threw me off because they were talking about how AJ hasn't won on pay-per-view since like forever. So it was good seeing AJ get one. It threw me off though because you know Finn and them, like I feel like they needed momentum. I don't know where this goes from here, but like I'm guessing there's other plans for them, but that threw me off. I don't know. Maybe it's just like so AJ can't be losing all these matches all the time, but.
Yeah, because he had a history of losing the last couple, that especially at Crown Jewel. So.
Yeah, so I mean, it's good seeing AJ win. I don't know. I don't really like the Judgment Day.
Bro, who's usually here, likes the Judgment Day. Like I said, I'm an OC kind of guy.
I'm an OC guy too, but yeah, so it's good seeing my boy AJ get through. You know, AJ's. I rock with him. His name is AJ. I rock with him, man. So
I'm not gonna do the whole thing that Bro does. I'm not about to chop him in the damn neck or something.
It's gonna be like he's gonna hit me one day and like knock me unconscious and doing that. But.
He almost hit me. That's why I had in one of the videos. Even you guys see it. I had to back up like this because of my day, and I was just about to get whacked in the damn chest.
All right, what's our next match, bro?
This next match ain't much to really talk about either. It's for the SmackDown Women's Championship, Shotzi versus Ronda Rousey. Now, here's the thing, and it kind of is the reoccurring, repeating theme with the last match, is I was hoping it was going to be good, because I do rock with Shotzi, and it just didn't deliver. It didn't.
Yeah, it was just there.
It was literally like a 7.5 minute match.
Yeah, nothing stood out. I know Ronda won. I don't really have much to say on this match. They didn't really give me much to.
They didn't give either one of us much to work with because it was just.
Yeah, so like if y'all want to review on that match, I mean, that could have been on Raw or something. Like I didn't really care.
It could have been one of those matches they have before a commercial break or something, or just something thrown in there. What will happen again down the road if it does? Like I said with the last one, if you're gonna do that, please let it be better because these two matches, these were two matches that I was hoping to see a good outcome or a good match out of, and yep, didn't deliver.
No, I mean, it just made me want Ronda and Becky have a
85.
They didn't have a real match against each other though.
True.
They had like the Charlotte stuff and all that, but yeah, boo boo, trash.
I don't even know if I give it a star, let alone a half a star. But with this match started to bring it back up for the night, we have the triple threat match with Austin Theory, Seth freaking Rollins, and Bobby Lashley.
All right, so look, I like this match though. It was a lot of stuff going on, a lot of like car crash type stuff. You know, it's crazy because it's like, how did Seth Rollins become? I mean, I know he was over and all that, but it's crazy to see he's like kind of babyface again.
Well, it's also crazy to see the dynamic they went to put him in Austin Theory in the match with Seth and Bobby, let alone because you look at it, Theory catches it on the United States style. Now, I know this is something we've talked about off camera. I don't know if we mentioned it on camera. We might have. Is you don't usually see superstars cash in on what we label as mid-card titles. You never see that. I mean, the most offhand one, I think, actually, no, I don't think there is any that I can think of.
Nobody's ever done that.
So, and his words to it kind of excuses like, oh, well, Roman Reigns has the bloodline, and you'd be a fool to cash in on them because if Jimmy ain't there, then Jay's there. If Jay ain't there, then Solo's there.
He tried cashing in twice, and it didn't go well.
Tyson Fury knocked him out in one of them, and then
then he had the match. He tried to cash in the middle of the Brock and Roman match, and he got like
Super kicked or
F5.
something.
He got F5, and it was a bunch of mess. So it was a lot going on. He wasn't gonna cash in on Roman.
So the way he claims it is he wanted to cash in on Seth because he had been, as he put it, the best champion in the last decade. Now that's, in my mind, somewhat disputable.
It's debatable for sure, but he's up there.
He is up there, but there's other guys that I'd put above him in WWE. Now this is the first time I'm saying just in WWE, not going outside, just WWE in general. So, of course, at the end it was going to be fluky. Now, when I say fluky, it's not like a disqualification or something like that. It's simply put, Theory. Seth had Theory up. I think it was for what'd you say it was? I'm trying to remember.
What?
Like he had him up for something like a slam. Like Seth had.
Oh, he was trying to finish the Falcon Arrow.
Yeah, he was about to do the Falcon Arrow. Lashley speared him, and then Austin just ends up. I think he ended up just landing.
Yeah, falling on top of Seth. That was a crazy finish. I didn't expect that at all. Like,
and got the win. He got the win out of it too, which even a lot of people were really sitting there like, "Did this just happen?"
I had Seth retaining for sure, and
so did I.
I was like, oh, okay, So I guess Triple H, because when he lost Money in the Bank, I was like, huh. Okay. Now he's back, he's got some momentum again. So, okay, it's like, all right, like.
For me, I'm not a Theory fan, but the dude has talent. So that was the one thing I didn't know what was going to happen when Vince left and Triple H took over. I'm like, where is he going to go from here?
Yeah.
What could happen because he still has the Money in the Bank briefcase. Are they going to let him cash in? When is he going to cash in? What is he doing? What's going to happen from here? Because that's even when he cashed in, I'm like, well, what's next?
All right.
So, thankfully, he was inserted into a title match and he won. I mean, hey, I'll give the man credit. Do I like him? No. Do I got to respect him? Yeah.
He's cool.
But he got the win and he's a 2-time United States champion.
Youngest United States champion of all time, youngest Mr. Money in the Bank. He's accomplishing stuff very quick, so we see where it goes from there.
Do we see a world title in this future? Who knows?
It's possible. Anything is possible. So what's our next match?
The next and final match, because this was a very short pay-per-view. I think, because usually it's about 4 hours. It was only like 3 hours.
Yeah, I don't remember. It wasn't a lot of stuff going on. It was kind of quick.
So on the main event, we have what I'm going to call the assorted baby faces of the Brawling Brutes, Holland, Sheamus, and Butch, with Drew McIntyre and Kevin Owens, versus the Bloodline with Jimmy and Jay, Solo, the honorary turned probably at this point full-blown oos, as Roman would say, Sami Zayn, the Wise Man, and Roman Reigns. Wise Man wasn't involved, was just there.
All right, so before we even go into Roman Reigns had a chair in the cage.
that he did. He sat down like how we are now. He just sat there.
Everybody else stood up. Like I've never seen nobody sit down in the War Games match in a cage of the chat, and Roman Reigns sat down in the chat.
Well, to go back to the women's match, I had never seen someone in a War Games match to start doing freaking pull-ups in the cage while they're waiting.
Some people are built different, but oh yeah, KO came out with the Dusty Rhodes shirt because I think Dusty was in the first War Games.
That, and he also brought the idea up to NXT before he passed. Rest in peace, Dusty.
Okay, I knew he had some type of correlation with War Games. So Kevin Owens and he had on jeans too.
Yeah, one thing I want to throw in is not necessarily about the match. This is just a booking thing I think would have happened. I feel as if Cody wasn't injured, he easily, no doubt, would have been in that match. And I feel like he maybe would honestly have been wearing the shirt.
Yeah,
honestly.
if Cody's around, he's healthy around this time next year, if they're going to go War Games every year, we could see a Team Cody, do some stuff, and it makes sense. But
we get a Team Cody and Team Bloodline, who knows?
We could see that. They could be on that era stuff and be in every War Games match. But this match is really good. So, all right, so let me talk about some of the highlights. All right, so.
Well, let's bring up what happened Friday night.
What happened Friday?
So there's a backstage segment on Friday night where Kevin Owens is talking to Sami Zayn. He's like, oh, what's going to happen if you piss Roman off or Jay or Jimmy and whatnot? What are they going to do? If I were you, I would turn on them before they turn on you. Now, Jay hears this and he's just like, comes out, he's like, who are you talking to? And Sammy's like, I just got here. I didn't talk to anybody. Like, he full-blown lies to his face.
Yeah, he said, you talked to anybody before when you came in the arena? He said, no, I ain't talking to nobody. He's like, you sure? He said, nah, I ain't. And then, Roman was like, I'm going to look into his eyes, and if, I'll be able to tell if he's lying.
I was about to say, because before that, we were kind of getting, and this is one thing I liked, they were basically building up to the story behind this match the entire pay-per-view. They had it where, I think it was after the women's match, or no, so either the women's match or the AJ and Finn match. I forgot which one.
It was, yeah.
Jay is talking to him like, he lied to my face. And Roman's like, I'm going to handle this. Like you said, I'm going to look him in the eyes and see if he's telling the truth.
Mm-hmm.
So then later in the show, he confronts Sammy. And he's asking him, are you loyal? And Sammy's like, I'm loyal to the bloodline. So Roman, hugs him in the back. And when he hugs him, you can tell he's got this look in his face, like he's got something on his mind. Like he's planning something, thinking about something, like he's got something going on. And it shows because not only did he sit in a chair the entire time he was waiting. One thing I liked is Jay started the match, and when the second person was able to come out for the bloodline, Jimmy's about to come out, and he goes like, no,
Jay go,
you go,
yeah, and they had to work together. Because, the Bruce had the advantage, so Jay was in there getting did in.
Jay was, I think, knocked out already in the corner somewhere. And
so then, eventually, Sammy comes in, and he's doing his thing, and he tries to help Jay up. Jay like, man, don't touch me, blah, 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 like all this. And
there was a spot when they got the table, and Sammy's trying to help him. He's like, no, I got it. Like, he wouldn't even let him put up the damn table.
Just on that. So... so let me see. Who came out after Sammy?
It was Jimmy.
No, I'm talking about on the Bruce side.
Oh, McIntyre. It was McIntyre.
McIntyre came out. McIntyre was just doing his thing, Then the Enforcer, probably one of my favorite members of the Blood. No, Jimmy came out. Then, the younger brother, the Enforcer, Solo came out. And that's, like I said, that's one of my favorite members in the Bloodline. Like, that's my guy. Like, he just legit, like, he beat. Like, yeah, he liked that. So he came out.
The one thing I like is how he also kind of brings back how the Usos used to be, wearing, like, the tribal shorts and everything.
Yeah, Street Fighter.
Got the feet wrapped. That he doesn't wear shoes in the ring, but he has, like, the wrapped up feet.
Yeah.
I wonder if that man was to ever turn face when he started doing the whole like the tribal.
I think the Usos are behind that. Like they're done with that. Like, but they will pay tribute to they got the tribal tattoos and all that. So then Drew came out and he started doing his thing. And then Roman came out last, and he just took his time. Everybody was laid out though. He just took his time and walked in, and Roman was in the ring with Kevin Owens. I remember a spot KO like stunned him.
Don't forget. I think it was midway through the match. I know the entire team of the assorted baby faces are just all hitting the bloodline with the what they call it, the 10 beats
50
of the
beats of the barrel.
yeah.
No, he did more than that though.
Well, it's called the 10 beats, but since it was 5 guys doing it, they were all doing it in the center of the ring, and for some of them, it ended up being more than 10.
Yeah.
There's another spot where Jimmy was he was in the corner, and he was about to get hit, and Sammy pulls, or no, it wasn't Jimmy, it was Jay. Sammy pulls Jay out of the way, and he's like, I got you.
Yeah, that was early in the match when it was just them two in there, I think.
Yeah, so the theme is Sammy's trying to show his loyalty to the bloodline, because he says it, but he's trying to show it so even they know.
Really just to Jay, because, Jimmy rocks with him. They got the little handshake. Roman rocks with him. Even Solo rock with him. Jay is the only one.
Even Rikishi rocks with him.
Yeah, he did say, yeah. He posted something on
tweet.
Twitter, yeah. So, yeah, Jay was the only one that was like, Like, I don't like you, blah, blah, blah. So,
Wouldn't let him help with nothing.
yeah.
And then the ending, just Kevin Owens.
Oh, yeah, KO had Roman beat for a second. He hit him with the stunner.
Hit him with the pop-up powerbomb, then the stunner, then pinned him. And then right before the ref was about to 3, Sammy grabs the ref arm, and then they just have this stare down. Even the ref's looking at Sammy like, oh, no, like, this ain't going to be good.
I thought he looked at it like, hey, man, you could let my hand go now. Like,
well, that, too. It's just he's thinking, the two things is like, first off, let me go. Second of all, you did not just do that.
Yeah, so then, KO's like, man, what you doing? What you blah, blah, blah. Like,
he's like this is your family now? Yeah, this is your family?
Yeah, like, basically, they don't give a damn about you. And then, Sammy.
He looks at Roman, because Roman's on the ground, and Roman's like, do it.
Oh, bro. Low blow.
Haluma kick. And then the thing that got me is he looks up at Jay, and he just points his arm down like, here, like the sacrificial sacrifice.
We boys now. I trust you, trust me here. I did it for you. Boom, Jay hits the splash. 1, 2, 3. The bloodline stands tall.
Sami Zayn hugs Roman, and then Sami Zayn and Jay look at each other, and they hug it out. They finally, after months of them butting heads, they finally see eye to eye.
I almost cried when I saw that. I was like...
I was happy for Sami. I'd only been waiting for this for months.
I almost cried. I was like, this is so beautiful. I was like, yeah, but overall...
It was long awaited. The funny thing is, I love how he just freaking rips his shirt for no reason. Like, this is the one, and just rips it. I'm like, what was the point of that?
Alright, so...
He got a little too happy.
I feel like we're getting closer and closer to this thing coming to a full coordination. So I eventually the bloodline is gonna turn them and do them in, but it's like I don't know how long they're gonna stretch it, but
I feel like they'll get a couple months in more. I feel like they might do something with Sammy and Kevin, feuding, obviously, because of this. So I'm interested to see how it goes from here. Like I said, the next pay-per-view up. Well, there is one more pay-per-view, but it's not a main roster pay-per-view. It's NXT Deadline. That's the next pay-per-view coming up. But this is it for main roster pay-per-views for the year. The next one coming up is Royal Rumble in January, because thankfully, and Triple H listened to me when I said this, we got rid of Day One. I'm sorry, I hated the name. The pay-per-view, having the matches on the pay-per-view were fine. The name sucked. I did not like it. But it's interesting to see what will culminate at the Royal Rumble, who will face Roman next, who will return at Royal Rumble, but that's obviously a video for another time. One other thing I want to say before we close it out. We apologize that we didn't do the prediction video. We did videos last week, and we didn't realize until, I think it was Monday when we were watching Raw or something. It was like, oh yeah, this Survivor Series War Games is Saturday. Yeah, we lost track of time on that one. So
good, man. Y'all get another prediction episode another time for the next pay-per-view. Probably Royal Rumble.
So just to kind of run it down without getting into it, my predictions for the matches would have been Team Belair, AJ, Shotzi. I really wanted Seth retaining, and the Bloodline. That was for me. Just my little quick little rundown for predictions that I wanted.
Yeah, so I basically everybody who won, nothing really threw me off like that. I think Theory kind of threw me off. I had Seth retaining. But other than that, it was a pretty good show. I just didn't really like the Ronda and Shotzi match.
Yeah, that could.
I didn't really like the what was the other match I didn't really like?
AJ and Finn.
Yeah, like I don't know what they were like. The bar was up here for me. Like
The one thing I will say is thankfully, and this is the big thing, thankfully the War Game matches did 100% make up for some of the singles matches we saw in title matches, but it helped like restore the confidence level because it's like, okay, great women's War Games match, AJ and Finn could have been better, Shotzi and Ronda could have been better, Bobby Lashley, Austin Theory, and Seth start building it back up, and then obviously with the Bloodline and the assorted baby faces, as I put it, a lot of storytelling in that. So it redeemed itself at the end, started great, kind of went sour in the middle, and became great towards the end again. So overall, I give it a 7 out of 10.
it was solid. Oh yeah, one more thing about the men's War Game match, the Solo and Drew thing. They had a little standoff because Solo cost Drew the title. I did like that.
I think Sheamus might be the next contender for Roman the way it's looking.
Yes, yeah, Sheamus is up there, and then I got Sammy.
And then Kevin Owens is still in the mix because he's like, hey, I'm still in this. I'm not done.
Yeah, so Roman got a lot of people on his heels, of course. He's the undisputed champion. He ain't just champion on Raw or SmackDown. He's the undisputed champion. So overall, I'm going to give it...
I give it a 7.
I'm going to say 7.5. The 2 War Game matches were good. Triple Threat was good. But that Ronda and
Shotzi.
yeah, that match, and then
AJ and Finn.
yeah,
Both of those could have been better. Way better.
yeah, especially AJ and Finn. I'm like, I don't know what the hell they was thinking.
I don't know either. I don't even know what they were thinking with that mask that Finn came out with. I looked at that.
He's like Kanye Ballard now or something. But all right, man, that's the end for our review. Let us know what y'all think. Drop the comments down below. If what y'all think about Survivor Series, was it good? Was it bad? You know, we gave y'all our opinions on the match.
And as always,
Jay.
Hold on, one other thing, and just let us know because we don't typically do this, but just let us know if we should. Let us know if you want us to do predictions or results for NXT Deadline. Some of us aren't that big fans of NXT itself. I'm kind of not really. I like the black and gold NXT. I think you'd be the same way, honestly. This NXT 2.0 turned white and gold. I don't rock with it that much. But if you want us to do like predictions or result videos for that, we do listen to you guys. So if you guys want us to, let us down below. We're on the road to 200 subs, and with that,
all right, I was trying to get in early, but I'm your boy Jay,
I'm your boy Amity,
and we out.